Honey oak. Everyone loved honey oak in the 80s. This is the same home where I recently updated the laundry room in the basement, added a basement bathroom, and converted a tub to shower. So I figured it was time to get rid of the honey oak 3-leveled flooring across the first floor and make it all uniform and drag it kicking and screaming into the present. As per usual, I forgot to take lots of before pictures, but here is my scope of work on this one. Very old, well, it was hardwood down here, still remains here, underlaid with 3 layers of vinyl, resulting in a very high floor. Very difficult to remove, which is going to become laminate throughout. Everything you see here is all going to be uniform laminate. And somehow, I've also been suckered into, while the floor is up, lots of painting, basically everywhere. Onwards. Tack strips are up, carpet's obviously out, underpad is out. I've gone around and pulled out all the staples. I'm going to screw down any squeaky boards, of which there are many. And then, as I mentioned, this project has to go in stages because they're still living here and all this stuff is still here. So we're going to do this section by the window to start, and then start shifting and moving around the entire first floor. It's only been about a day's work so far, so we're making progress. Now here we're down to subfloor, just with some leftover hardwood staples here and there. What's coming up is vinyl from, I don't know, 15 years ago. Vinyl from, that must be the original, 1977. And then on top of all that was, over here, big thick hardwood. The two vinyls sit on a, I don't know, like an 1/8 inch layer of plywood that's stapled down with about 1 million staples per square foot. And then you just have to pry it up with a pry bar. So my original plan of renting one of those Eddy floor scraper machines from Home Depot to scrape up the tile immediately became a moot point when I discovered it was on this, because I have experience with this in my own house. I found it was all, I would rip out the entire first floor right down to that. So I had a big 7-foot pry bar for that. I'm using a smaller wrecking bar today. It's coming up, but my God, this is hard work. And here's a really good view of the cross section I cut earlier. So we've got subfloor, where's my finger? Subfloor, that little thin plywood layer, 2 layers of vinyl, stuck, glued or whatever, maybe if they were just stick tiles or not, I don't know, and then the hardwood. So that's, my God, that's it, 1.5 inches that we're gaining back a little bit because we're putting in 12 mil laminate plus 2 mil underlay. So still gaining back a little bit of height, but I'm sure it was the easy decision at the time. Hey, just put it on top. No one will ever know. No one will ever know until this guy. Thanks, Mom. Onwards. 2 weekends later, we've got about 70% of the first floor done, maybe 80. The flooring's all down, the baseboards are in for the living, dining, most of the kitchen. The house looks like a new house. And I've successfully dragged my parents from living in 1988 into current times. It wasn't easy. So I've gotten as far as here. Still have bathroom and a sort of a rec room down there to do. Other than that, the flooring has been simple to put in. No surprises. Looks sharp. It has lightened up this room by leaps and bounds. They're happy. I'm happy it's almost done. Wins all around. This is what I'm dealing with. This is 40 years of fun right here. 40 years of contractors saying, hey, let's just put it on top. It'll be fine. We have the underlay, I don't know, it's like 1/8 of an inch that everything's mounted to. We've got three. I think in the past I said 2, but there's 3 layers of stick vinyl and then hardwood. Here is the new laminate. The ceilings have just gotten higher because look at the height difference. It's nuts. It's like 1.5 inches that we're gaining back, maybe more. It's insanity. Who thought it was ever a good idea to just slap new flooring on top of old? I mean, why was that, or is that ever an acceptable solution? I have many questions. This old gross yellow hardwood coming out as it has the rest of the house. this really old, gross green. I'm not even sure. Green gray. I'm colorblind. I don't know. Coming out. It's going to be uniform laminate throughout the entire first floor. False styrofoam beams that I've hated. Popcorn coming out, coming off. In this room only. I don't have the energy to do the whole house like my own house. These pod lights I put in, I don't know, about a year ago, they've helped because it's a very dark room. But I think once the ceiling is flat and smooth, the ceiling is going to look much higher. The room is going to feel much bigger. And we're going to call it a win. I'm predicting that because it's not done yet, but we'll see. Popcorn. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Must go. What's that?
She makes it as natural as it
Oh yeah, everybody wants to keep their popcorn.
I guess I'm one of the few that really like it.
Yeah, you like everything that nobody else likes. It's just your nature.
I know you said something clever. What did you say?
It's just in your nature to disagree with everyone.
Not really.
No, it is. It took a couple of hours and all of the popcorn has been scraped. Most of it's not bad. I mean, there are some areas I need to, you can see that there's still some texture there. But I took the power sander, the ceiling sander to it once. Doesn't look terrible. I'm going to do some hole patching now. I just finished up here, so it's still wet. I won't be touching that tonight. Fill some holes and level off some spots, and then I'll just give it a coat of primer And that should, well, in the past, that has highlighted where I need to focus my efforts on. But at the moment, I don't see anything too egregious, but we'll see. We'll see. Not terrible. But also not quite perfect. The rough texture roller did a wonderful job of leaving a little dimply pattern, so I'm not relying on a super smooth surface. However, there's the occasional tape joint that you can still see that I am not going to bother with. For free, it's acceptable. I gave in. I said it was good enough, but it was going to drive me insane, so I went back and mudded a tape joint up along the front there and went along here, and now it's as good as any popcorn removal I've ever done. It's pretty much perfect. You have to look really hard to find any imperfections. There's a couple. It's not perfect, absolutely perfect, but for the amount of time I put into it, which was not very much, I've come a long way in my popcorn removal technique. The very first room I did took, well, I'm embarrassed to say, probably weeks. This took a grand total, maybe, I don't know, 3 to 5 hours from start to finish. And now it's painted, and the lights are gonna go back in, and I'm about to paint the walls, and I had already, just to keep the truck moving, keep the train moving, I had started the floor, so I probably should have started painting first, but I was on a roll. So when you're on a roll, you don't stop. I think that's how that works. I think one more day. I hope one more day.